A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Those words of 18th century English romantic poet John Keats still ring true down the ages.
The beauty of a town, more especially a capital city, lies in its urbanization and development, and there is a sense of satisfaction and well-being when you view and live in a modernized, developed setting. And all over the world, governments have made it or tried to make it a priority to develop and urbanize major towns and cities within their domains, especially the capital towns. It was with this in mind and in line with the fifth prong of its SMART agenda, transformed environment through urban renewal, that Governor Ifeanyi Okowa established the Delta State Capital Territory Development Agency. The Director General of the agency, Chief Clement Ofwani, speaks on some of the functions of the agency, which include preparing a master plan for the physical development of the state capital territory.
The first thing is that it created an agency and gave it a mandate to conceive, to plan, and to implement physical development of the capital territory. It also empowers it to regulate physical development and activities within the capital territory, ensuring that, for instance, behavior of people with respect to sanitation and the environment are properly regulated to create what you would expect in a modern smart city. It also gives it power to impose fines and levies on offenders and generally to raise revenue also from services that it renders in order to be able to render more services.
The Capital Territory Development Agency also has powers to develop and operate infrastructure services and facilities within the territory, such as roads, monorails, tramways, bridges, parks, recreational areas, and refuse disposal, among others.
The fact that the development was not planned from day one also means that when you now try to impose a modern planned city on it, it becomes cost of redevelopment because you have to break what already exists in order to impose a new order. This can be an enormous cost, and it's what we have to grapple with. That's the pattern of our development, but we can't run away from them. Then, of course, there will be the issue of slum clearance. There are areas where growth has been just what it shouldn't be. And so you face a situation where people live in conditions that are less than sanitary and conditions that you just wonder whether human beings, how human beings survive there. There are all sorts of processes for urban renewal. We will try them. They are going to be difficult to implement. Some of them will impose social burdens on people. But we'll try and do it in a very humane way. That is what I can assure you. But as far as taking the right decision firmly is concerned, we have no doubt that what must be done must be done.
And the question has been asked, how will it carry out these functions without conflicting with the functions of existing relevant government ministries, departments, and agencies?
The law setting up the agency also requires that ministries and departments and agencies of government operating within the capital territory are supposed to transfer their responsibilities to the agency. In some cases, it might require collaboration. It's not that every function of government within the capital territory will be transferred to the agency. This is clearly not a government within a government. But there are certain areas, for instance, when it comes to taking responsibility for master plan for the Capital Territory. That is a major mandate of the agency. Implementing that master plan is a major mandate, and you cannot be implementing the master plan without having ultimate control over what type of buildings are raised at any part, and where it should be. We could have zones, for instance, where we designate that this area is for residential purposes, and it will be for high density or low density, depending. And then you don't just go and, because you have a plot of land there, you start building without relating it back to the master plan. And then we have to authorize that your proposed building plan is in accord with the general master plan of the Capital Territory. So yes, there are areas that will seem to create conflict, but the law setting up the agency has already made provision for us to collaborate with the various agencies, including the local government councils, and where need be, we harmonize those activities to make sure there is no duplication and unnecessary rivalry.
The Delta State Capital Territory urgently needs to be redefined for sustainable development. There are glaring issues with road networks, water courses, recreational facilities in refuse disposal, as well as ecological and environmental problems. Many citizens are of the view that the state capital has for long suffered under a status not befitting a state capital.
Well, looking at all the amenities we have in Asaba, I think it look more of local government standards, not up to state capital standards. There are a lot of things, a lot of issues on ground, there are a lot of problems, like with the DLA road. Every day we swim. Right now, as you see me, I have a vehicle, but I can't drive it now because of the road.
Asaba is good, but we need maintenance to maintain the roads, because if you enter the streets, water is everywhere. It is stopping our keke. Sometimes if you enter the water we just all over the streets. None of the streets is good. So we need to maintain the roads so that everybody will feel free.
Of course, yes, it looks like a city indeed. There are lots of facilities and different things, but except for the bad roads.
Most of the places are very dirty, and if you can look around, you see that some of the places are. It's embarrassing to call here a capital city, and once you enter, the first thing you see is dirt everywhere. So it will also be good if they can also help in the aspect of keeping the environment clean.
And Deltans are greeting the establishment of this development agency with relief and joy as they look up to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to pull the development of Delta State, particularly the Capital Territory, out of the doldrums and give the state pride of place among others in the Federation.
If such kind of agency is being set up, I think it's a welcome development. I think it will do us good, because if we can be able to, if the government have deemed fit to set up these agencies, I think Asaba will look like a modern city. I think Asaba will be developed the way like other metropolitan cities that we have along the countries and other states and as a whole. So I think if those funds and plans are being put in place to put Asaba to a modern city, I think it's a welcome development. I think it's a welcome development to the government.
You cannot build a house without a plan. So you must first have a plan, a blueprint of what you want to achieve. So I think they have a plan set up, but so let's give them time, like I earlier on said, let's give them time to work. You can't build a house in one day. So let's say within the next 6 months we will see development in Delta State. We believe in change. So we believe that there will be changes in this state.
Our former economic advisor in the state, Mr. Afam Obiago, said a fully developed capital territory was the desire of many citizens.
As a matter of fact, the environment of Asaba and the state capital has been yearning for this kind of bill, or this kind of law. Thank God it's now a law. And it is a very promising law. Promising in the sense that it promises an Asaba that is in tandem, or Asaba capital area, or the development area, the capital development area, that it is in tandem with global best practices in terms of infrastructure, development, and then sanitation and ecology.
Mr. Obiago was of the opinion that given his excellent pedigree, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa would acquit himself creditably and keep faith with his name, Ekweme, by ensuring that what he had said he would do.
Yeah, the Okowa I know has this nickname, Ekweme. Since he has said he would do it, he will do it. And I'm confident that he has the political will to do it.
The Director General of the Capital Territory Development Agency has promised Deltans that though the task is not an easy one, especially in the face of prevailing economic conditions, the agency will strive to its utmost to fulfill its mandate as it works harmoniously with other related establishments in carrying out its duties.
All of these are going to take enormous amount of money to deal with, and certainly cannot be, even if you have all the money, you will not be able to complete all of these within a 4-year, 8-year period, 10-year. We've been building Abuja since 1991, when the federal government effectively moved to Abuja as a capital territory, and we are still building it today. So what I would say is, let us have that vision that this is what we expect our city to be like. Let us today start planning it. We are the ones called on to till the ground, begin to lay that foundation. It will take a while before people can see the beauty of that town emerge. By then, probably I'll be out of office, but they will only be building on that firm foundation that has been laid now.
Chief Ofwani foresaw a bright future for Delta State and urged all to walk the walk and talk the talk with Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as he leads Deltans on the journey to prosperity.
Well, the first thing is that they want a capital city that they will be proud of. And I'm sure when we say a capital city that we'll all be proud of, there are certain expectations. Expectations in terms of having appropriate green environment, clean environment, ease of waste disposal, proper drainage system that takes away storm water. And I think in the main, these are the key things. Of course, there are other support infrastructure that will come up in terms of the number of schools we should have in the various districts to support the size of populations we expect. Healthcare centers will have a general hospital, the FMC, supported by a state general hospital. Then the locals, lower level secondary tier, that's the primary healthcare center and secondary healthcare centers, which again will be distributed given the special distribution of the capital territory. Then we need to see a more integration of the capital territory. Today, what you have is Asaba, Okpanam, Ubolu, Ibuzo, and all of them existing almost as independent communities the way they've existed from ancient history. But more and more is expected of a lot of integration to form a capital city, because all of them are going to be part of that capital territory.
With the full development of the capital territory, Delta State will become a thing of beauty and will be a joy forever.
The state governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, must be saluted for his foresight as well as for his courage in kickstarting machineries that will transform the state capital and its suburbs into a beautifully planned and highly developed masterpiece of urbanization.